Come down to the City Arts Factory. We're back. It's the City Arts Factory. You know it well. But hey, you know what? Tonight we've got ghouls, goblins, ghosts, some gays. I'll explain that later. Don't get offended. But you know what? Let's take the tour right now. This little dinosaur with a mohawk is pooping on his little girlfriends here, so it's not very nice of him. Behind me is a zombie wall. Let's check out a quick view of that. Okay, let's see. You guys know the producers of Orlando Live. We got Jason, who's usually hunched over near a computer, that sort of thing. I would say this is Jason here. And then we've got the tallest of them all, Sean. Sean's here, our producer Sean, who's sort of like overseeing everything, usually directs. And then we've got John, who's sort of just like hanging over here. He's like, oh, I don't have a Facebook anymore. I don't know what. I'm a vegetarian too, apparently. This is Duck Hunter, if anybody remembers him. And you remember my old host, Caitlin. Next time you see me, I'm going to be getting a piggyback ride from Mayor Buddy Dyer. Don't hold me to that. I'll see you guys in a few minutes. This is live, Mayor Dyer. Are you psyched?
I'm psyched. Third Thursday in downtown Orlando. Always a great time.
You're down here at the City Arts Factory, supporting local artists. And as we were earlier this month, we were checking out all the art inside the Amway Center.
Great art collection. One of the unique things about the Amway Center is we have an Amway collection that is over 300 pieces of art that were specifically created for the Amway Center. We have some old Citrus labels from here, and then we have a lot of downtown scenes. So there's a good Central Florida theme to it.
Tell us a little bit about the facility that we're in here today, the gallery, and the theme behind it.
This particular room is about to become the Lee James Floral Gallery. Lee is about to open this gallery in this particular space, and I'm going to be one of the first artists to have a solo show in this gallery.
Now, you're dedicating tonight, you said, to gay and like openly out teens.
We're terribly moved by this idea that we have teens all across the country who are committing suicide, it's a tragedy. It's an incredible tragedy that it should be allowed to happen in this country, and it's because of the fact that they're not entirely sure of what's happening with themselves as they grow older. There are 7 of us here right now who have happy, successful, creative lives that you can grow into. The message is that however bad it is, it will get better.
I think that's a great message, whether gay or not, it's a journey of your life and creating yourself, not just, being something. Tell everybody about what you're contributing to the City Arts Factory today.
Here we can see my goblins, which are stoneware. I actually do caricatures and characters in clay.
Your grandma is going to kill you for doing a caricature like that of her. That is so mean.
She's lovely, isn't she?
She's gorgeous.
Yeah. My work is a bit in between the Labyrinth and Beauty and the Beast with the anthropomorphized characters and the little silverware and dishes. So here are my goblins and my gremlins.
All right, we've been able to show your artwork. Anywhere we can go online to check it out? Let's tell us right now.
I'm actually known as Grubby Nubs.
Grubby Nubs.
Grubby Nubs.
Is that your Twitter handle?
That's my Tumblr handle.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so Facebook, Tumblr.
Photographer Scott is going to be taking pictures of Mr. Peter Murphy. Let's see what they're doing right now.
Today, your lovely artwork is behind us, and you brought a lot of people together. Tell me about that.
Well, we wanted to do a Day of the Dead exhibit, a Dia de los Muertos, and so we chose, I chose a few of my favorite downtown artists, or Orlando artists, and they're all in here today.
Now, with the power vested in you as the curator, you wanted to feature some of your own art, but why did you want to do the Day of the Dead and go along with that sort of a theme?
In South America, or in Mexico, actually, there's an honor to the Day of the Dead around the same time as Halloween in the United States. But this is more of a way to show that death is not a means to an end, but a continuance, and in a festive kind of way. So we just wanted to show what Hispanics do in the Halloween time.
What do you call this series?
My series, these are the calacas, the music calacas, which calaca means calaveras, skulls, basically.
Sweet.
So
this has to be one of my favorites, definitely.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So they're all playing different instruments, and over here to my right, I made an altar, which is a big part of the Day of the Dead. People build altars for their families or their deceased, and usually you honor them putting things that remind you of them or that you did together.
Tell me about this bad boy right here. It's got a mirror on it. What's going on?
All right, so what I wanted to capture here is like your own altar. I know it's kind of creepy.
Okay.
But we in Mexico we celebrate the good things about death, right? So it's not like, oh great, you're gonna be dead. It's just whenever you're dead, somebody is gonna appreciate.
Embrace that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, great. Well, I'm dead now. Oh, let's throw a party. You know,
Yeah.
so what went into you putting these different elements on canvas?
The actual altar in Mexico, you need to put the dead person's favorite food, favorite drink. There's a quote over here that says, "The secret is to die before you die," and you see how death doesn't exist.
Tell me about this piece right here. What's it called?
Yeah, this is the wedding of Adelita, or la boda de Adelita.
Whoa.
And this is from the revolution in Mexico. He wanted to marry her when he come back from war, from the revolutions.
So when you were younger, what did you used to dress up as, and what was your favorite costume?
I used to be Little Red Riding Hood, things like that, sweet things. I don't like scary.
What are you going to be for this year?
I am going to be, guess what? Little Red Riding Hood again.
You're gonna be Little Red Riding Hood?
Yes.
I guess that leaves me to be the wolf. You were able to actually paint this mural here. What inspired you?
Well, I like clowns, and I also like art, and so clowns are kind of like monsters, but they're real people, and I feel like we're all monsters, but we're all real people, and so clowns are just people who paint a face, and they're not genuine.
Are you trying to seduce me? Yep, screaming. That's what happens. Does this clown with makeup, layers, have a name?
What's your name?
Peter.
His name is Peter.
Tell me about this little piece right here.
I bought it at a garage sale without the faces on it. This really is like my father because he's very cool and collected. And this is like my mom because she's like, I'm red hot and I'm crazy. And this is like me and I'm just weird. I'm unexplainable. It's called the Family Unit and you should buy it.
I think I might. Tell me what you're doing here at another Third Thursday.
Well, I decided to volunteer to do one of the murals here. I invited 4 artist friends of mine along, 3 artist friends of mine along to do it, and sure enough, we knocked this out in 4.5 hours.
What's the inspiration?
It was a very improv piece. We just kind of went along with the moment, and with 4 of us at it, we were painting over the top of each other, spilling paint on each other.
Did you model any of the characters in here after our buddy Paul?
Well, actually, if you look at the character in the middle, that's Paul at his next birthday. And then as Paul degrades in years, you can see he actually starts to shrink.
On the night of Halloween, what are you going to be doing?
Well, I'm going to dress as Carrie.
Cool. From Sex and the City. Everybody's really doing that right now. It was kind of a weird thing because I wanted to be Miranda, but I know the red wig.
Stephen King.
I'm not familiar with that episode of Sex and the City, but yeah. From Stephen King, yes, I know. Are you gonna have a bucket of blood or what?
No, it's actually a prefabricated costume, so I don't have to do any work.
Wow, a lazy artist. Never met one of those. Frankenstein, been done a million times. Where did you start?
Basically, just use a lot of texture to give like the feeling of wrinkles and scars.
People are really appreciating it. It's the first thing you see when you come in here. You're a cool person to hang out with, especially anybody that's gonna paint Frankenstein. Really quick, for any of the guys out there, what's the last cool pickup line that actually worked on you?
Hi, how are you doing?
I think it would be kind of a cool pickup line if you bought this, maybe. Is this for sale?
Oh yeah, for sale.
You gotta tell me what's going on today.
Today we're doing Street Scene, and it's a collaborative effort between Robert Ross and myself, and it's basically the streets of Central Florida, everything from the people on them to the buildings we're surrounded by.
When you're going out with your camera, do you ever think you're gonna look for something, or do you just sort of allow it to come and bestow itself upon you?
Both. I find it more difficult when I'm going out looking for something to actually find it. It's always the surprise ones. It's the sister with the mouse ears and eating at Subway and just finding this child that looks like he was ripped out of a Norman Rockwell painting with his sister.
What have you been able to find and put up on the walls here?
Well, 16 paintings. They're mostly oil paintings, and I prefer to paint from life, on the scene, anywhere from an hour to 4 hours, right there on the scene, engaging with the sun and the shadows. You know, it's a confrontation. See if you can get it down. I work in Daytona Beach and I live in Altamont, so every day I see that when I'm heading home. That's on 92, which is also known as International Speedway, leaving Daytona, heading onto I-4. And this was painted from a scene last winter, just after a rain, probably about 5:30 in the evening. The sun is getting low, it's almost dark, very moody, you know, just full of lots of mood. In Orlando, we all love to hate I-4, right? So we all have that love-hate relationship with the I-4. We need it, but we hate it. So this is all about the roads and the highways and the streets that bind us all together.
Tell me what you guys are up to here at Third Thursday.
We did this mural for City Arts here. It's called the Wendigo, and it's based on Native American myth. It's actually an old spirit before humans. It inhabits the innermost sphere of man. When a man even contemplates, let's say, cannibalism, this spirit will possess them.
This is so grand, and you know, such a great mural. You know, I'm sure it took you a while, but where did you start?
The top, then we work way down. You know, sketch it out first.
How did you guys collaborate on this? Were you like, hey, I want this, and like, oh yeah, we should put a cool ice heart in there, and like, yeah, we should put the mask from Jim Carrey's movie in there?
Everything in here is part of the mythology. The Wendigo has an ice heart because of his hatred for humans. The mask is called a booger mask.
A booger mask?
Which was from the boogeyman. That's where the concept of the boogeyman comes from. It's actually a ritual. Picking your nose on camera. The booger mask it wards off evil. It's not an evil spirit, it's just a spirit that's angry at humans.
Here she is, world-renowned artist, Jamie Lee. No, it's kind of funny. Jamie, how are you?
I'm good, how are you? That was a great intro, thank you.
Let me get to the funny part. Number one, you painted who looks like Tinkerbell, am I right?
Yes, right, that's right.
Okay, here are the funny elements of it. My name's Peter Murphy, so of course, Peter Pan, Tinkerbell.
Yes.
And then you're right next to the bathrooms, so we could say Tinklebell.
That's right, that's actually fantastic.
And in a couple months, it could be, well, it'll be sold by then, but it'll be Jingle Bell, Tinkerbell Rock, you know, something like that. We could create our own Christmas album if you'd really like.
I would love that. I would love that. I'm glad we exchanged information.
So tell me why Tink?
I moved down here to be near Disney because it inspired me. It made me happy. Unfortunately, after 4 years of being encapsulated in the Disney bubble, I got a little cynical and jaded, thus resulting in a bit of a sarcastic Tinkerbell.
Where's Tink right now? Is she at a bar, or is she at like school learning in the little fairy world, or what?
She could be at a bar. I think in this one she's at a bar at one of the Disney resorts.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, probably the Grand Floridian. She's had a few too many mojitos, and she's just questioning the meaning of life right now. I'm not a giant fan of Tinkerbell, but you know, I'm glad I chose her. People seem to like her, and they like that she's pissed off.
Well, yeah, she's got a little attitude behind her.
Yeah, it's a good thing to have attitude.
Everything's happening around here, so I wanted to tell you guys a couple of things. Number one, I love you. Number two, our show is coming up Halloween, October 31st. Number three, most importantly, we're going to be at every third Thursday at the City Arts Factory. So if you miss it, you got to come down here. And if you can't make it, make sure you watch us at home. Hopefully you're doing well. And number four, I want to give a shout out to everybody that's been watching us back since February when we began this, and everyone that's going to continue to watch here on out. This is Orlando Live. We like it loud. We like it fun. We like to have a good time. So see us in the studio October 31st and on EyesOnOrlando.com every Sunday at 8:30. All right, see you guys later. I'm Peter Murphy, and you know what? We're Orlando Live.